Happy Wednesday, you all. I want to talk about having great faith. And I'm going to use some movies that touched my heart the first time I saw these movies, and I always watch them for inspiration. The first movie is Man of Honor. I think this movie came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. Cuba Gooding Jr. plays in it. He's in the military. I believe he's a Navy SEAL or underwater diver or something in the Navy. Whatever his occupation was, he was determined. You got to see the movie, especially the part when his bag is slit, when he's underwater and they're tasked to assemble some tools. And they purposely slit his bag and he stayed under that water, freezing cold water. I want to think 11 hours or more until he got it done. You need great faith in what God has for you. I love the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. He's part of a plane crash. People think that he died out at the ocean. He actually ends up on the island, and I don't remember how long he was on that island, but he had ambition to make it back home to his family. And I think it took a couple of years, and he did. He had great faith. In the other movie I want to mention, I think I said Man of Honor, Castaway, Pursuit of Happiness. We all know, even though we upset with his behavior from a year and a half ago, Will Smith, but in Castaway, he is a father taking on the role as a man whose wife had left him because of his financial situation or because of his personal aspiring career, to pursue his happiness. And mom just won't having it. And he stayed in there, stuck in there as a father. I can relate to all three of those movies in some form of fashion. And I want to encourage you today to have great faith. You see three men who did not give up, and they kept persevering. They kept going in the direction of what they had envisioned, and they got it. Will Smith got that great job, even though it didn't look like he was going to get it. He worked for free for a couple of weeks. Tom Hanks got back with his family, and even though, the movie, I'm trying to recall the end. I think the lady had moved on and got remarried, but he ended up reversing the car, and they ended up kissing in the end. So I would presume Castaway 2, if it ever comes out, he would be with his family. And then or they just accepted, what the new, beginning was, and they just had that one last kiss. And then in Man of Honor, Cuba Gooding Jr., he did lose his leg trying to save somebody on the boat when there was a loose chain or spike on the boat. It took out his leg, but he was determined to stand again so that he can be an approved, and he went to court for it too, be an approved Navy SEAL diver, if that's the correct phrase. If not, please put the correct phrase in the comment. But I want to encourage you to see all three movies. Man of Honor. Men, it might say MEN of honor. Castaway, I'll find the correct men to put in, and I'll put it in the comments. Men of Honor or Man of Honor. Castaway with Tom Hanks. Man of Honor is Cuba Gooding Jr. So Man of Honor, Cuba Gooding Jr., Castaway with Tom Hanks, and you have Pursuit of Happiness starring Will Smith. And there's so many more, but as a man, I show no bias. Well, I guess I am showing bias because I'm a man, but for my ladies, that if that's not inspirational for you all, I can think of Love and Basketball, Sanaa Lathan's character, how she had to come in as a starting freshman and persevere and get better, take the criticism, and eventually she was the starting point guard. We can name Love and Basketball. We can also name some other movies where women had to be determined to get to their goal. I love that movie Just Right with Queen Latifah. Socially, she was discouraged, but she knew what she brought to the table, and she persevered at that and in her occupation. And, humbling herself, not necessarily humbling herself, but being at peace with herself. If Mr. Right did not come along, she would still be okay. So that may be two for you, and there may be another one. If you got some inspirational movies, drop them in the comments. And, I think TikTok and Instagram are the only two platforms right now that's going to allow this long video as a real type form. I know YouTube, there's a lengthy video where, I can put up a video as long as I want on YouTube. So for my people who love to see the shorts, they're not going to see this portion. They got to watch the whole video. So I guess you watch the whole video today, you get the blessing, but have great faith. I got to have great faith every day I wake up. I don't know how God's going to do some situations for me, but I know he's going to work it up for me. I used to say work it out, but I don't need God. Just work it out. Take me a level up. Work it up for me. Prepare me for it. I hope this helps somebody today. And I love the fact that you all are tuning in. I love the fact that God gives me a voice to get to a platform and be transparent. I'm so grateful. I want y'all to pray today for great faith. I want y'all to look up some Bible verses that talk about great faith, not just by Googling them. Get your Bible and get a highlighter, underline some things, annotate some things, type some things up and print them out, put them on the walls. Excuse me. But one verse I know about, y'all know I've been talking about Luke chapter 5. You can read Luke chapter 5 in regards to great faith, Matthew 25. You can read Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. You can read Psalms 59, deliver me from those who rise up against me, or deliver me from my enemies, defend me from those who rise up against me. That's Psalm 59. I used to read that a lot my freshman year of college. Had a lot of people hating on me, especially when I was playing football. I didn't go to school on a scholarship, but because of my grades, I was a heck of an athlete, by the way. But I did have to eventually walk on, and I made the team. But walk-ons, without scholarships don't get treated the same. So I had to go out there and prove my stay, and I did. And had I stayed at my initial college, we got a ring that second year, but had I stayed at my initial college, I would have became something special by the time my sophomore, junior year, senior year on the field hit. But I transferred out to go pursue football elsewhere. And I'll tell you about that another time, me transferring out, how that worked out. Maybe in a movie. But thank you for hanging in all 7 minutes. I wish y'all a wonderful Wednesday. This is Fred Lee. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to whatever social network you see this on. Keep it there. Have great faith.